The Windows 9X registry is intended to replace the .ini files that were used in Windows 3X, and it uses a hierarchical database with a tree-like top-to-bottom structure. It stores all of the configuration information like system configurations, user settings, device manager information, and all the hardware and software settings. This information is physically stored in two files, system.dat and user.dat. Logically, we store this information in what we call keys. Now, the major keys that are in the registry are HKey classes root, HKey users, HKey current user, HKey local machine, HKey current configuration, and HKey dynamic data. The two keys that we use most are HKey current user and HKey local machine. But let's go over each of the keys in general. HKey classes root contains information about file associations and object linking and embedding data. This is information that the system would need to use if two applications wanted to work together with each other. HKey users includes user preferences, including desktop configuration and network connections. HKey current user, if there's only one user on the system, this is a duplicate of HKey users, but for a multi-user system, this would contain the information about the current user that's logged on to the system. HKey local machine contains the information about hardware and installed software. HKey current configuration contains the same information as HKey local machine, but adds information in regards to printers and display fonts. And then HKey dynamic data keeps information about Windows performance and plug-and-play information. The H in HKey stands for handle. And we can picture that like a handle on a filing cabinet. If we walk up to a filing cabinet and pull back the handle, then we have access to all the files in that filing cabinet. And the main thing is that no one else does at that time. When we pull that handle, we're the only one that has access to it. So you can think about a handle as a file that is pulled out, or a drawer of files that is pulled out and is being used by the system or by an application in the system, and therefore cannot be used by anything else. Now, since the registry is the brain and is an extremely important part of the system, it has to have a way of protecting itself. Each time that the system boots successfully, Windows 9X makes a backup copy of two registry files. It backs up system.dat with a program or a file called system.da0, and it backs up user.dat with user.da0. That way, if system.dat or user.dat were to become corrupt, we could change over to system.da0 or user.da0. Also, if Windows 9X has trouble loading and has to start in safe mode, it automatically does a backup of the registry files. That will still happen even if it has trouble loading. It will find a way to get those backed up. In Windows 98, we have an additional tool called the Registry Checker. It automatically backs up the registry every day, and it can be used to back up the registry on demand. So the registry is an extremely important part of the system, and we need to make sure that we maintain it in good operating order. This means that we don't get into the registry to make any changes unless we know exactly what we're doing. Modifications to the registry happen automatically when new software is installed or when new hardware is installed, and then we install the drivers for that hardware, which is of course software. changes will be made in the registry. On rare occasions, when a manual edit is required, we need to know exactly what we're doing before we get into the registry. Then we can use a command, regedit.exe, which will talk more about modifying the registry manually in our next sections, but this should be something that is done on very rare occasions and knowing exactly what we're going to do, going in, doing it, and then getting back out. It's like brain surgery. So we have tools that are built in to Windows 9X to protect the registry. We also have tools that are built into Windows 9X to monitor the use of system resources, and we'll talk about those tools in our next section.